And we've got coaching staff changes across the league as well, most notably in Brooklyn with Steve Nash out of nowhere getting the gig as the head coach in Brooklyn. So as someone that keeps eyes on Brooklyn, as I've become somewhat of a fan of theirs, I'm surprised by the hire, but I kind of get what they were going for. Steve Nash has been on on the Warriors staff, I believe, during when KD was there, established a great rapport with him while there. And then him being the all-time great point guard that he is, he definitely could help out Kyrie as he continues to do his thing also. So I see the pairing there. They obviously had to give the green light for it to happen as well. So if they okayed it, I okayed it as well. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll let you say first before I go on to my other thought. What you think?
I'm interested to see how this pans out, but it seems like a very risky move to me, just with him never being a head coach before. Like he's been on the Warriors staff. I don't think he was even like an assistant coach though. It was like almost like a mentor type role that he played with the Warriors.
I mean, literally, I forgot what his actual title was. He was there just kind of helping out, like, hey, I'm here.
Right. I mean, because they were already like 73-9 and best team in the league. Like they didn't need that much more help.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's always a risky move to take a first year head coach. Yes, he was an all-time great player, point guard, Hall of Famer. But yeah, I could very easily see it not working out. Like kind of like Jason Kidd in his first like coaching stint. Like you need that experience as a head coach before you kind of like get into a groove. There's not a lot of just like immediate success as a head coach because it's an adjustment. Like there's no job like it. Like, yeah, you were a great player, but you don't always just immediately become an all-time great coach.
Yeah, and it's a lot more than just X's and O's too. There's a lot more to that position than just drawing up plays. So we'll see how he handles it. I think he can make it work. If there's any of these retired players recently that can switch over and make a good head coach, I think he definitely has a mind and personality to be one that does it successfully. And I'm rooting for them. The other thing I was going to bring up was that this morning Steve Nash called this a somewhat of a white privilege hire.
Okay.
He thinks that his statement was essentially that him getting this opportunity is further proof of just how that system works within sports and everything.
Or even white male privilege too, because like Becky Hammon has been an assistant for years in that Spurs.
True. And I guess
he got that offer as well. Yeah.
And the part he added to that was them overlooking guys like Ty Lue, them overlooking guys like Mark Jackson, or even Jacques Vaughn, who was the assistant coach and did a good job with them after they fired Kenny Atkinson. Or
Jason Kidd too, I mentioned as well.
Jason Kidd too, sure. So for them to overlook all of them and sign Steve Nash instead, they saw Stephen A. saw as white privilege in action is essentially what he was saying. I think it's a very interesting take, just because we also see why you want to hire Steve Nash, and if he's okay with making that decision, you bring him on board. I'm someone who always likes to tries to be outside the box when you can. And though we do see great minds, like I think all the other guys that we brought up definitely could have been great fits there. But at the same time, though, if you know you can get in contact with Steve Nash, and he's a guy with all the pedigree that he has, and he can fit in regardless of race, him knowing knowing the game like he does, him being the personality that he is, him already having a rapport with guys on your roster, I think that it's hard to overlook that. So if he's okay with it, you make that hire. And I think this is the wrong situation to bring up what he's talking about. There definitely are. There's plenty of examples of that white privilege being utilized. But I think in this situation, Steve Nash has enough credibility beyond his race to have to use that, and for that to be the stance that Steve Nash takes here. So that was just my thought on that.
I can understand it, because kind of like what I was saying, like, what have you done that shows me that you could have the head coaching pedigree? Like, yeah, we've seen you as an all-time player, but you have no experience as a head coach. And these other guys have paid their dues and coached in other organizations and won championships in Tai Lu. And so, like, there was other very much more qualified guys than Steve Nash.
I guess more of what I'm saying is I absolutely get what you're saying. I just think using them in comparison to Steve Nash is the wrong example. Now, if I don't want to use another example, but if you want to use, if Brian Scalabrine got hired over Tai Lu out of nowhere instead, it's like, why that? Then you can really question it. But we all know the intelligence that Steve Nash has. We all know we all see what he did in the league and his skill and how that can use to carry over as he's helped the Warriors and others. That could be his help could be considered minuscule because of how talented that team already was. But he was in the building and aiding them in ways that they wanted, and they got the job done with him there. So him already having connections and things, I don't think we should knock him for that. There are absolutely other scenarios where that can be looked at, but I think Steve Nash, though he did not have any past coaching history, I think he is one of the few that can be signed out of nowhere and it'd still be acceptable.
Yeah, I wouldn't knock him, but I think it's a very risky hire.
Sure.
Yeah.
Having Kyrie and KD on the same team is risky, so it's a whole lot of risk.
Exactly. They're already in risky waters, and now they added a first-year head coach.
Just go all in on with it. Might as well. Yeah. So
take away Steve Nash's name. Like, he's a first-year head coach. So
right. Yeah. So again, if they put the right staff around him, I think Jacques Vaughn, who I mentioned, is still going to be there. I don't know, as a guy that was in the head coaching seat for at least the interim period, I don't know how he feels about that, but if he's deciding to stay, so be it, and I hope it works out for them. But yeah, if they put the right staff around him, I think it could work out. And even if the staff ain't great, again, KD, Kyrie are still, we don't want to sleep on them. They still legit and can make things happen. Paris LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie as well, DeAndre Jordan, not the same level, but still solid. Jared Allen on the rise, and others. They have guys that can make them a serious threat going forward, regardless of who is at the head coach there. So I think this. I said this is a scenario where a first-year head coach could work out for them, and Steve Nash being that first-year head coach too. It could be a good mix. So that was the last thing I wanted to bring up. That we are takes on all of that. Again, we'll be back very soon to talk more. We've been heavy on NBA things lately as the playoffs continue. But football's right around the corner. We got drafts coming up soon and other things. MLB is still going strong as well. So we'll be back shortly, actually, to talk about it all. And we appreciate y'all for tuning in. So, any last words, Alec?
No, I think we're good.
For sure. So with that. Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. Continue to like, rate, review, subscribe to the show. Our ads are below. Just say G here alongside Alec Foster. Follow us on IG at Section.300, on Twitter at Section.300 Pod. Appreciate all the love. And again, we'll see y'all soon, man. Appreciate it. Peace.